7 questions women ask when they want more than friendship. Most men think attraction is obvious. They think if a woman likes them, she'll just say it. She'll flirt aggressively. She'll make the first move. She'll somehow remove all uncertainty from the situation. But real attraction rarely looks like that, especially with women. Because women are usually taught very early in life to hide vulnerability, to avoid rejection, to protect themselves emotionally. So instead of directly saying, "I'm falling for you," "I want you," "I think about you all the time," they communicate indirectly, through energy, through subtle behavior, through emotionally loaded questions disguised as casual conversation. And the scary part? Most men completely miss these moments while they're happening. Because the questions sound too simple, too harmless, too ordinary. But underneath those questions, there's emotional tension, curiosity, desire, fear, hope. A woman asking these questions is often trying to answer one thing internally. Is this connection becoming something deeper, or am I imagining it? And depending on how you respond, the attraction either grows or quietly dies. Because women pay attention to emotional responses far more than men realize. Not just your words, your presence, your tone, your energy, your ability to understand what she actually means underneath the question. So today, we are breaking down 7 questions women ask when they want more than friendship. Questions that seem innocent, but emotionally, they mean far more than most men understand. 1. Why are you being so nice to me? This question almost never appears randomly. A woman asks this when your attention starts affecting her emotionally. Maybe you remembered something tiny she mentioned weeks ago. Maybe you checked on her when nobody else did. Maybe you listened carefully while everyone else only waited for their turn to speak. And now she feels something she didn't expect to feel. Comfort, warmth, emotional pull. So she asks, "Why are you being so nice to me?" Now here's what most men miss. She already knows you are being nice. The real question is, why does your attention feel different from everyone else's? And the reason this moment matters so much is because emotional consistency is incredibly attractive to women. A lot of women are used to temporary attention, surface level flirting, performative interest. But genuine emotional attention? That hits differently. That's why dismissive answers ruin the tension instantly. "I'm just nice to everyone." Terrible answer. Because now she feels emotionally ordinary. But when a man calmly says, "Maybe you make me want to be," now she feels emotionally singled out. And emotional exclusivity is one of the strongest triggers of attraction. 2. Do you tell every girl this? This question usually appears after emotional impact. Maybe you complimented her deeply. Maybe you noticed something specific about her personality. Maybe you made her feel emotionally seen in a way she isn't used to. And suddenly she asks, "Do you tell every girl this?" This question is not jealousy. It's fear mixed with attraction. Because if your words are special to everyone, they stop feeling special to her. Women become emotionally attached when they feel uniquely understood. That's why this question matters. She's trying to figure out whether this connection is real, or whether you simply know how to charm people. And insecure men panic here. They over-explain, defend themselves, try too hard. But confident men stay emotionally grounded. Instead of reacting nervously, they understand the emotional meaning underneath the question. Something simple like, "No, most people don't make me talk like this." That response creates emotional tension because now she's wondering, what exactly is different about me? Curiosity creates obsession faster than certainty. 3. What would you do if I was there right now? This question is dangerous, especially late at night, especially after emotional tension has already been building. Because now fantasy enters the picture, and attraction becomes powerful when imagination gets involved. Notice how indirect the question is. She's not saying, "I want you." She's creating a hypothetical situation instead. Why? Because hypotheticals protect vulnerability. If things become awkward, she can pretend she was joking. Just curious. Just bored. But emotionally? She's opening a door. She wants to know how you imagine her, how present she is in your mind when she isn't physically around. And this is where many men destroy the tension completely. They become way too explicit too quickly. That instantly removes mystery. The strongest responses create emotional imagery instead of desperation. Something like, I'd probably pull you close and distract you from whatever's stressing you. Now the moment feels emotional and intimate instead of forced. And emotional imagination is incredibly powerful for attraction. Because women often fall in love mentally before they fall in love physically. 4. Why do I feel so comfortable with you? This question sounds soft, but emotionally, it's huge. Because emotional comfort is rare. Women can feel chemistry with many people. But emotional safety? That's different. When a woman feels emotionally relaxed around you. When she feels understood instead of judged. When silence feels peaceful instead of awkward. Attachment starts forming. And usually, she notices it happening before you do. That's why she asks, why do I feel so comfortable with you? She's trying to understand her own emotions. Because comfort is dangerous. Comfort creates trust. Trust creates attachment. Attachment creates vulnerability. And vulnerability is terrifying when feelings are involved. This is why emotionally intelligent men stand out so much. Most people are exhausting to be around emotionally. They require performance. But when someone makes a woman feel emotionally safe enough to fully relax, she remembers that forever. 5. Why are you looking at me like that? This one is pure tension. Because eye contact reveals attraction long before words do. And women notice it immediately. The moment she asks this question, she already feels the chemistry between you. She already noticed the lingering eye contact. The pauses. The emotional energy. Now she's testing whether you are confident enough to acknowledge it. Most men panic here. They joke too hard. Look away immediately. Break the tension because they become uncomfortable. But attraction grows when tension is handled calmly. A quiet response like, because you are distracting. Or, because you are beautiful when you don't realize I'm watching. Now the emotional energy deepens instead of disappearing. Because confidence is not loud. Confidence is emotional steadiness. 6. Why do I miss you this much? This question usually appears after emotional attachment has already started forming. And honestly, this is one of the biggest signs that friendship is no longer enough for her emotionally. Because people don't deeply miss those they feel neutral about. When a woman says, why do I miss you this much? What she's really saying is, you've become emotionally important to me and it scares me. Notice the vulnerability in that. She's not just admitting attachment. She's admitting loss of emotional control. And women rarely reveal that openly unless the connection already means a lot to them. This is why emotionally dismissive responses hurt so much here. If you laugh it off carelessly, she immediately starts emotionally protecting herself again. But when you meet the vulnerability calmly and honestly, the connection deepens fast. Because now she feels emotionally safe being attached to you instead of ashamed of it. 7. Would it be weird if we? This question is one of the most underrated signs a woman wants more than friendship. Because women rarely jump directly into vulnerability. Instead, they test emotional possibilities slowly. That's why she says things like, would it be weird if we went somewhere together? Would it be weird if I called you right now? Would it be weird if I stayed longer? Notice the pattern. She's introducing intimacy while pretending she isn't. The phrase, would it be weird, is emotional camouflage. It allows her to explore romantic tension without fully risking rejection. Because if the energy isn't returned, she can always laugh it off and act casual. But emotionally, she's testing the boundary between friendship and something deeper. And this question usually appears after emotional chemistry has already been building for a while. After long conversations, late night texting, lingering eye contact, comfortable silence. By this point, she's no longer wondering whether she likes you. She's wondering whether you feel it too. And the way you respond matters. If you immediately act awkward or overly logical, the tension collapses. But if you stay calm and emotionally present, the moment deepens naturally. Something simple like, not weird at all. Oh, I was hoping you'd say that. Now she feels emotionally safe stepping closer instead of pulling away. Because attraction often grows in tiny moments like this. Not through giant confessions, but through small emotionally loaded questions that slowly blur the line between friendship and something more.